Trust is so important. If we want a teacher to be open with us about challenges they're facing and really partner with us on solving those challenges, there has to be trust. And we all know how it feels when there's not trust in a relationship. We will raise a concern with a teacher, and the teacher will get defensive, or they'll have questions about what our intentions are. And this makes it harder for the teacher to grow. So we have to work to build trust in the teacher evaluation process so that we can support the teacher's growth so that they can do better for their students, and we can avoid having the teacher evaluation process be a huge waste of time and energy. So in this video, I'm going to share 2 frameworks that you can use to think about trust in your relationships. And I'll also share a playlist full of these resources that you can use on your own or with your team. And I will also tell you the biggest trust destroyer I see negatively impacting the relationship between evaluators and their teachers. So welcome to my channel, Lead with Love and Love to Lead. My name is Jess Madden-fuoco. So remember, at the end of this video, I'll share a playlist, so no need to take notes throughout the video. So the first step in making any improvement is to reflect on the current situation. Step 1, reflect on the trust you have with each teacher. So the first step is to make a list of all the teachers you evaluate. And then for each person, you can reflect on these questions. How easily can you talk with each person and coach them? Are you able to share feedback about ways the person needs to grow or change in order to do better for students? What factors are affecting trust? This could include demographics such as race, gender, age, socioeconomic status, or other. It could also include things that have happened in the history of your relationship. Then the second step, after you do this reflection, is to think more deeply about what is required to have trust in a relationship and how it can be built. I want to share 2 frameworks by 2 of my favorite people, Brené Brown and Zaretta Hammond. Brené Brown has a framework called Braving, which helps us think about the 7 elements of trust. So as you can see on this Braving inventory, B stands for boundaries. Setting boundaries is making clear what's okay and what's not okay and why. Reliability, you do what you'll say you'll do. Accountability, you own your mistakes, apologize, and make amends. Vault, you don't share information or experiences that are not yours to share. Integrity, choosing courage over comfort, choosing what's right over what's fun, fast, or easy, and practicing your values, not just professing them. Non-judgment, I can ask for what I need, and you can ask for what you need. We can talk about how we feel without judgment. And generosity, extending the most generous interpretation to the intentions, words, and actions of others. And Zaretta Hammond has this amazing framework called Trust Generators in her book, Culturally Responsive Teaching in the Brain. And if you don't have Zaretta Hammond's book, Culturally Responsive Teaching in the Brain, I think it's one of the 5 best education books of the past decade, so I strongly recommend that you pick up a copy. You will see in this list of Zaretta Hammond's Trust Generators that the examples she provides relate to how teachers can build trust with students, but I think all 5 of her trust generators work equally well with adults. So the first trust generator is selective vulnerability. People respect and connect with others who share their own vulnerable moments. It means showing your human side that is not perfect. Familiarity. People develop a sense of familiarity with someone who they see often. Similarity of interests. People create a bond with others who share similar likes, dislikes, hobbies, and so forth. Concern. People connect when another shows concern for those issues and events important to another, such as births, illnesses, or life transitions. And competence. People tend to trust others who demonstrate that they have skill and knowledge, as well as the will to help and support them. So after you've reviewed the Braving framework and the trust generators, the third step is to go back to your list of teachers, or you could do a deep dive into one teacher who you feel like you're having some more trust issues with, and then to use both of these frameworks to analyze your relationships. And all of these questions are on the playlist, so no need to write them down. So which aspects of braving, boundaries, reliability, accountability, vault, integrity, non-judgment, and generosity, have you felt strong in related to your work with each teacher? Which aspect of braving could you improve in related to your work with this teacher and how? And then which trust generators, selective vulnerability, familiarity, similarity of interest, concern, competence, have you engaged in with this teacher? And which have you not yet, but could consider trying in the future? So after you've thought about what are some of these possible causes of trust issues between you and the teacher, think about what are some possible next steps or solutions to some of these trust issues. And if you look at both Brené Brown and Zaretta Hammond's frameworks, within those are so many possible solutions and next steps. So for example, as I was reflecting on my relationships with each of my teachers, I thought about some folks who I know more about their families and I'm able to ask more detailed questions related to how things are going in their lives. And even though I ask all teachers those same questions, some folks are just more open about things going on in their lives than others. And I don't need to dwell on the cause of that too much, but it's just a good thing for me to pay attention to so that I can make sure I'm really expressing concern and interest in the lives of all of my teachers. So the fourth and final step is to make a plan for how you're going to strengthen trust with all of your teachers. So on the playlist, I include 6 ideas, and the first 2 are ones that you can use with all of your teachers. First is to add check-in time at the beginning of all your conversations, including your post-observation protocol. Idea number 2 is to collaboratively support a teacher with a goal that they have for themselves. But one of my favorite ways to build trust is to actually support the teacher in improving in something they want to get better at. So numbers 3 and 4 are both about having difficult or challenging conversations. I feel like you need to have one with one of the teachers you're working with. And then number 5 is a reading about white fragility. So if you find that you're working with a teacher who identifies as white and they're having a hard time receiving feedback related to racial issues that you've raised with them, you might find this white fragility reading really helpful in talking with the teacher about being more open to conversations about race. And then the last one is about stereotype threat. So if you're working with a teacher of color, you want to make sure that you're both communicating high standards and a belief in the teacher's ability to meet those standards. This stereotype threat research can be really helpful. So as you work on strengthening trust in your relationships, I also want to encourage you to avoid the number one mistake I see evaluators make that really makes it impossible to truly build trust. And that is if you don't actually believe that the teacher can grow or improve. And I see this all the time. I see folks who really preach having a growth mindset about students, but they don't bring that same value to adults who they work with. And teachers are going to know if we don't really believe that they can grow and improve. So we have to really check our mindset and really work hard to believe in our teachers. So check out the playlist in the description below this video, and you can use it on your own to check out all these resources, or you can use it with your whole team of evaluators at your school. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you're interested in teacher evaluations, check out these other videos on my channel. I think you'll especially like my video about how to coach within the evaluation process, and also my video about radical candor. If this video is helpful, give it a thumbs up, click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know about future videos. And as always, share this video with all your teacher and leader friends, because my mission with this channel is to support leaders' growth so that we can support teachers' growth so that they can support our students' growth. And remember, if you lead with love, you will love to lead.